Calhoun County, October 23rd, 2023 meeting order. Sponsor, would you give us the invocation?
Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us together today. May we honor one another by keeping an open mind. May we speak and listen with an open heart, discern your will, and unite in an effective outcome. Amen.
Thank you, ma'am. May I have a motion for approval of the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. John, do we have anybody for public comment?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay, no public comments. Entertain a motion for approval of the minutes, October 9th.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Appointments, MUSC.
John, you got those names?
I do, yes, sir.
It's just John.
I'll kick it down to me and then y'all can.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you said, Mr. Chairman, we are changing the board again for the hospital. This will be called the MUSC Executive Committee. The previous board was the Legacy Committee. But ultimately, the Legacy Committee was put together to get the lease going and get it started and up and running. And now it's going to be turned over more to both Orangeburg and Calhoun County administratively. And Calhoun County gets 3 appointments on this executive committee. And the 3 appointments would be myself, Richard Hall, and Ms. Rocio Warren, the town administrator of St. Matthews.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint John McLaughlin and Richard Hall and Rocio Warren to the Executive Committee of MUSC.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Properly moved and second that we appoint those 3 names Ken just mentioned to the MUSC Executive Committee.
Could I just clarify, make sure that everybody knows that Rocio Warren is the town administrator for St. Matthews, just so everybody's aware who that is.
Any more discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Thank you. Okay. No more appointments?
No, sir.
Anybody have any appointments?
No, sir.
We have a proclamation, November is Family Court Awareness Month. For some reason, I don't have that with me.
I've got it. Would you like me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead and read it if you have it.
All right, proclamation November as Family Court Awareness Month, whereas the mission of the Family Court Awareness Month Committee is to increase awareness of the importance of a family court system that prioritizes child safety and acts in the best interest of children. Whereas the mission of the FCAMC is fueled by the desire to create awareness and change in the family court system. Estimated 58,000 children per year ordered into unsupervised contact with abusive parents, while honoring the hundreds of children who have been reported as murdered during visitation with dangerous parents. And whereas the mission of the FCAMC is to increase awareness of the importance of education and the training of domestic violence and child abuse, including emotional, psychological, physical, and sexual abuse, as well as childhood trauma, coercive control, and post-separation abuse for judges and all professionals working on cases within the family court system.
Okay, may I have a motion that we approve that proclamation? May I have a motion that we approve that proclamation?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second for approval of the proclamation. Okay, any further discussion on the proclamation? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Under appearances, Jeff Price with Fire Commission updates.
I would like to start by saying that since you all passed the ordinance establishing 1 fire district, things have all been roses. But you all know better than that. As with change in all facets of life, there will always be challenges, and this is definitely the case. The commission has started having annual DOT inspections done on all county fire apparatuses. In the past, due to financial constraints, the rural fire district only had an annual maintenance done on its apparatus. This was things such as oil changes, filter replacements, that being air and oil, greasing, minor stuff, none of the major stuff. The burn building has been completed with the exception of paint. It has been used by several departments. All comments from the departments using it have been positive. We're looking at adding more features to the burn building, as well as more training props in and around the Doodle Hill property. Commission operated on 2 different budgets. We are basically operating 2 districts with 1 commission. As we move forward, there will be many more challenges facing us, but I believe with open minds, we can all work together and improve the fire service for Calhoun County.
No more appearances. Any old business, John?
No, sir.
No old business. Under new business, we have the approval, participating in insulin claim. You want
Yes,
to
sir.
claim?
Yes, sir. Council, if you remember, for those who were here, with the opioid claim that we joined back roughly 2 years ago, we joined with a number of different counties throughout the state, and so far we have been receiving funds from that. Those funds are detailed on what they can be spent on, and what we've done is we've teamed up with Orangeburg County and their opioid funds, the Dawn Center, and the hospital. And so we're trying to get the professionals the money that they need for education, for materials, Narcan, things of that nature that they might need. Very similar to that, we've been approached with an insulin claim or claims, and I'll read you what it says here. It says to investigate the viability of and to prosecute all claims against the insulin manufacturers and pharmacy benefit managers who artificially inflated the price of insulin, along with their respective parent companies, subsidiaries, and affiliates that contributed to the damages incurred by the county, arising out of overpricing of the insulin both in and to Calhoun County. And so, just like the opioid, I would recommend to move forward on this approval, please.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion for approval of participation in the insulin claim.
So moved.
Second. Properly moved and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Second item we have under new business is development agreement, Calhoun County replacement class 2 landfill project.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, those of you who were here roughly almost 3 years ago, 3 years ago now, know that Calhoun County, because of inflation, because of cost of heavy equipment to stay in the landfill business, and the rising cost ultimately to run the landfill, you guys approved to get out of landfill business and start looking for someone to purchase our permitted capacity. And since then, I know it's been a long time, but since then we've put it out for bid twice, and we've been negotiating with the developer. But ultimately, this is an agreement to replace Class 2 landfill between Access Materials LLC in Calhoun County. And ultimately, we will be selling our permit, our DHEC permit, solid waste permit, to this individual, to this company, to use as capacity, landfill capacity for C&D, construction and demolition only. This is not household garbage. This is only limbs, leaves, wood, whatever C&D material that generates. And so this is an agreement. You've got a copy of the agreement. And certainly, we've vetted it out. We've talked to the developer. We've talked with DHEC, who will ultimately have to permit this tonnage and a new site, and they don't have a problem with it either. So this property is actually in Calhoun County in the Sandy Run area, and we feel like that's the area that's going to be growing the most. That's the area that's going to need that availability. And so I'd like to ask for a recommendation to approve the development agreement between Calhoun County and Access Materials LLC.
I make a motion, we approve it. I'll second it.
Properly moved and second. Any further discussion?
Yes, sir. I would like to, I don't think you mentioned the fact that we are getting a cut rate.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
On some of our tonnage going in there.
We're getting so much for free, and then after that tonnage, we actually get a reduced rate.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of benefits. One other benefit that we made sure that we looked at and that is in the agreement is if the developer decides to get out of the landfill business, and whether they sell it or just get out, county, the government of Calhoun County, not the citizens. The citizens will, they'll still be able to utilize the convenience sites. They'll still be able to utilize a number of avenues, but yes, sir, we are protected from that standpoint.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Anything else on the new business?
No, sir.
Nothing else on the new business. Okay, we down to ordinances. First reading on ordinance 2023-19. An ordinance to amend the building codes and regulations.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. This is to add the property maintenance code piece into the ordinance, and so we can actually regulate better, more responsibly. And it also helps clean up properties, rundown properties, undesirables, things that we may have a problem with, the sheriff's department may have a problem with, things of that nature. And so what this does is it actually adds the property maintenance code into this ordinance.
All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it.
All right, yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to defer to our judge here, if you don't mind coming up.
I'm allowed in judicial ethics and canons to comment on interests of law and the betterment of the judicial system in the community. If you recall, a couple of years ago, the Club Rolex we had, which was operating a liquor, food, and entertainment business without a single license a couple of years ago, and there was guns there and shooting, sexual assaults, other criminal offenses, and you all passed an emergency ordinance to address that situation. This is a more permanent solution, not just a Band-Aid. So in those events where there is a business or an establishment that needs to either be condemned or potentially shut down, it provides an avenue for the county administrator or the sheriff to come through magistrate court, not just them independently slapping a closed sign on a business, but to come through magistrate court and prove a case of a nuisance, similar to Club Rolex, where we had, as I say, shootings, assaults in the parking lot, and things of that nature. And the magistrate judge would hear it, and if proven, the magistrate judge can issue an order to either temporarily or permanently close that business. The person, business owner, property owner, obviously has a right to appeal if the ruling goes against them, and they can appeal to circuit court. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. You may recall under Club Rolex, it's the only time I've ever seen, instead of them having, and I don't mean to be misogynist, instead of having a hat check girl or a hat check clerk, they had a gun check clerk. And that's not a joke. They had people bringing firearms and checking them at the door. And that was a problem. That's what this ordinance, in a more comprehensive fashion, is designed to address as some of these things crop up. But not just the establishment that's engaging in unlawful conduct. Also, as I say, buildings that are subject to be condemned because they're run down or things like that. But it provides an avenue both for the county through the sheriff or administrator, as well as the property owner, to come to court and litigate it, present their evidence, present their witnesses, and let the magistrate judge hear it and rule on the evidence. I'm glad to answer any questions.
I don't know, it was quite in the Sandy Run area, it was up that way, where a property owner wasn't a club, but he had loud noises. He said, do we address that in that?
It has been addressed through a letter from the county administrator, and the person has been very receptive to that and is trying to make corrections. But that would address this too. It would provide an avenue where if the corrections aren't made, or if the property owner contests it and says, hey, I'm not required to do that, the property owner also having the avenue to file an action in magistrate court to say, hey, make that back off and leave me alone. So that has been addressed, Mr. Chairman, without recourse to the court. The property owner and the county talked, and the property owner was unaware of the concerns, but it has been.
Okay, I entertain a motion for approval of first reading of ordinance 2023-20.
I make a motion to accept ordinance 2023-20.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it.
First of all, I'd like to introduce Mr. Harvey Elwood here. He's with Perspectives Media out of Orangeburg, but we try to pull him over to Calhoun County as much as we can. He's going to be here taping some of this. He's got his own station. He'd like to do some interviews as well, and so I'm appreciative of him coming tonight. And last but not least, I want to say thank you to all the staff, the county staff, all the sponsors, all the participants of the Industry Appreciation. It was the 7th year of us doing that, having the annual appreciation golf tournament. We had 12 teams this year, which is about right. We're usually between 12, 13, 14 teams. But really, it's truly a good day. I appreciate County Council coming, those of you who did show up. I appreciate you coming and interacting with them. It's about networking and socializing and just telling them thank you. You know, most of these industries, we don't see the CEOs or the CFOs necessarily, but they sponsor it. They send their employees out to interact and have a good time. So I want to tell everybody thank you for that too. And that's it for me, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else? Let me just say, along with our community development director, will be attending a gathering with Orangeburg and Calhoun County at I guess in conjunction with the Samaritan House, to try to discuss our homeless problems in these two counties, Orangeburg and Calhoun County. So I will be. I just don't come down here and that's it. I just want the public to know that we have other places to go during the week, but we will be trying to come up with some ideas on how we can address that problem. I'll be getting back with y'all. Can you?
Well, the only thing I want to know is nothing that was mentioned of our toot on.
Oh, yeah.
Because people will see us riding around in a van, and I want to make sure that they understand the process we've been through to be able
Yes, sir. So what Councilman Westbury is talking about is something that we've been trying to do for some time now. I feel like when we did this over in Orangeburg and Aiken, it was a success. But that is to get county council in a van and go from one end of the county to the other. We've got a lot going on, a lot of developments, a lot of projects. You know, you guys have voted on things in the past, and I'm not sure that you know exactly where it is all the time. So this will be going from starting off, we're going to start here 9 o'clock Wednesday morning, leave here at 9 o'clock. We're going to head up to exit 119 and start up there with the new interchange improvements, industrial parks, and like I said, a number of projects all the way down to Little Falls Landing. Be prepared for a full day.
Okay, thank you.
And that will be posted as well as the times, the rough times that we should be at every location. That way if the public wants to meet us at a certain place, that'll be fine too. Okay?
Okay. No further business. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, likewise. Thank you, Bill.